In late adulthood, aging parents often need a place to live. There's a wide variety of different places for them to live, such as in institutional care, at home with their children, or even at home in their own home with assistance from others. And this varies ultimately between ethnic and cultural differences. As stated in the text, in Western countries, most people in late adulthood would prefer to live independently rather than with their children. However, living independently becomes increasingly difficult during the 80s and beyond if health problems accumulate. This can make it very difficult for all the parties involved. It's difficult at times for the family who's generally younger and have small children, and it becomes more difficult when the older adults become accruing with medical issues such as diseases like Alzheimer's, which can affect the brain, and cancers which affect the entire body. And it becomes stressful to the entire family and the environment they're in. Now let's look around the world. In European countries, about 30% of adults aged 16 over live with an adult child, and additionally 50% lived within 25 kilometers of their children. This is a huge difference compared to Northern and Southern Europe, where only 5% live with their children and 70% live within 25 kilometers of them in Northern, and 45% live with them, an additional 45% lived within 25 kilometers of their child. In Asian countries, many of the children assist their parents financially as well, and this may be due to the fact that they do not have any pension programs like in the Western countries. They also are generally a one child in each family, and due to the fact that they probably live closer to them due to the fact they're the only child, they'll let them move in. But in the other aspect in the spectrum is if you think that if they are the only child, they may have moved away to live somewhere and fulfill their careers, and it may be a little more difficult for the family member to come move in with them. So they have to find resources such as places like institutional cares, and which is besides living with the family. So these are assisted livings, which is separate apartments that are provided meals, dining area, social activities, etc. And then there's nursing homes, which include all those previously listed, as well as medical care. And these people are generally living with dementia and other serious debilitating health concerns. The United States, Canada, and Northern Europe are among 20 to 40% of people who receive this type of living, where members of minorities such as Asian, Latino, and African cultural backgrounds are less likely to be in institutional care. Another form of institutional care is when the older adult continues to reside at home but has assistance from others that assist in physical therapy, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, and assisting in other daily habits. The drawback of institutional care isn't only that it's very expensive, it's that the facilities and the issue of how much control the older adults have in their daily lives, which can be terrifyingly affect their quality of care, which coincides with the quality of life. What I mean here is that when the elderly, if they aren't very cognitive, they can be treated poorly and they're not going to quite remember it, so they can't tell their loved ones who come and visit them how they're being treated, and that can affect their quality of life because if they're not being treated correctly, they can get sicker, they can develop diseases and sicknesses, and they're not going to be taken care of as well as they should be. Now, that's not in every nursing home, but it is it's drastically more prominent in places with those who have dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's a little less seen in assisted living because those usually take care of themselves and they don't usually have nurses and doctors that come and visit them. Now, this is just the only barely touching the surface of what it's like in all the countries around the world, and I hope you enjoyed my video.